welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Nina.
And I'm Winnie.
And today we're doing part 3 of A Midsummer Night's Dream. So this is, as we mentioned before, a Shakespeare's original, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, have you ever done any Shakespeare's play? Because I feel like that's very common in the West, right?
Yeah. So, because if you study theater like I did, they usually don't let you do all of the new stuff right away. They actually introduce Shakespeare to you so that you can get a really good idea of these classic characters so that you can really appreciate where all of these beautiful scripts come from, which usually actually comes from a lot of Shakespeare characters. So I actually did a Shakespeare play called Twelfth Night.
Okay.
And it's about 2 twins, and one of them, the boy twin, dies at sea. And so his twin sister has to take his place, but she's a girl, so she actually has to pretend she's a guy. And then there's a lot of love triangles and misunderstandings.
You know, that kind of reminds me of a movie called She's the Man. Do you know that one?
Nina, you should really do some more Shakespeare stuff because
Really?
You're kind of natural at it. But
Okay.
yeah, that is exactly, yes. So She's the Man was actually inspired by Twelfth Night.
No way. Okay, yeah, because she's a twin and her brother, he didn't die, but like he went away, so she pretended to be a boy, and there were a lot of love triangles because she was pretending to be a boy.
Exactly.
Oh, that is so cool. So it's like a modern remake.
Yep.
Okay.
So actually a lot of the movies and shows that you watch could probably come from a Shakespeare play.
Wow. Okay, I'm really intrigued. Okay, let's find out a little bit more about what happens to this story because there's so much going on.
Yep, a lot of characters.
Yeah, I cannot predict what happens next. I'm like always surprised. Let's find out.
Oberon fixes Puck's mistake. However, when Demetrius wakes, his eyes fall on Helena. Now both men love her, and both women are angry and confused. Oberon and Puck take action to set things right. Puck leads the 4 people apart and makes them fall asleep.
Welcome to part 3 of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Are you ready?
I am so ready. Let's get into it.
Okay. Continuing on, Oberon fixes Puck's mistake. However, when Demetrius wakes, his eyes fall on Helena.
What? Wait, what? Okay, so he fixes which mistake?
Okay, so he obviously knows that Puck, who is his servant, Oberon gave him a task, which is, hey, Puck, I need you to find Demetrius, give him this magical juice so that he can wake up and fall in love with Helena.
Yeah.
But Puck obviously doesn't know who Demetrius is.
Yeah, he put it on Lysander.
Yes.
Who fell in love with Helena.
Yeah, so then King Oberon is like, listen, okay, I'll take it with my own hands, I'll do it myself. But then, he puts it on Demetrius's eyes and he falls in love with Helena because that's the first person he sees when he wakes up.
Yay! But isn't that like the plan?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what they wanted to happen initially. Yes. Okay, but it's a bit confusing because now he didn't really fix the mistake because, Lysander's still in love with Helena.
Right.
Okay. Now, both men love her and both women are angry and confused. Obviously, they're going to be very angry because this isn't what's supposed to happen. And they're confused, which means not understanding something.
Yeah.
So they're like, what happened? What is going on?
Yeah.
For example, she looked confused after hearing the question.
I mean, can you imagine being Hermia? She's like, what? What is happening?
So the love of my life doesn't love me anymore, and the guy who did love me, which I kind of enjoyed, him chasing me, doesn't love me either, so nobody loves me.
And her BFF is the one that they're in love with. So, there's an unspoken girl rule. You don't go for your best friend's guy. But she doesn't know that this is all because of these magical fairies kind of messing with them.
Yeah, because that's why they're so confused.
Yes. Yeah, so actually fairies actually come up in Twelfth Night too.
Okay.
So you can tell that Shakespeare actually really likes his little fairy character.
Or maybe he likes like the magical aspect of it. That's why he's like
Yes.
putting in the fairies.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. So continuing on, Oberon and Puck take action to set things right. And of course, to take action means I'm going to go do this so that I can make sure this turns out the way I want it to. And to set things right means to make sure something is correct. And of course, that means something has to go wrong for you to set things right, which a lot of things became wrong.
Definitely.
Yeah, so their job is to make sure that, this is too messy right now.
I think they shouldn't have involved themselves to begin with. But we'll see.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。Confused, confused, 形容词感到困惑的。Lily looked confused after hearing the news. 听到消息后 ，Lily 看起来很困惑。我们再来看一下文法重点。刚刚课文提到了 set things right， 纠正错误，指的是让事情恢复成正确的状态，这是一个固定用法。我们来看看这个例句 ：We tried to set things right after the misunderstanding。误会之后，我们试着纠正错误。Misunderstanding 指的就是误会。接着我们回到课文当中。
Continuing, Puck leads the four people apart and makes them fall asleep. Okay, so he leads them. To lead someone means to guide or show the way.
Yeah.
So they lead them apart so they're not together anymore and make sure they're asleep. Okay, let's see what he's trying to do.
Okay.
So lead, for example, the teacher led, past tense of lead, the students to the classroom.
So you think it's a good idea, just kind of spread them out.
Well, when things are so messy right now, you have two men in love with the same woman and it's not real and women are angry and confused. It's better to just give them some space.
Time out, yeah.
Let me figure this out and hopefully fix it.
Yeah. Make sure they're apart. So, and apart means away from each other. Kind of like when you have two kids who are fighting and over a toy and you're kind of you take the toy away and say, hey, you guys got to be apart right now.
Time out.
Right. And King Oberon made quite a mess. So this is kind of their way of saying, let's pause.
Yeah.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 lead 动词带领，它的三态是 lead, led, led. Tracy led the guests to their seats. Tracy 引领宾客到座位上。Apart, 副词分开的。The children sat apart to avoid fighting. 孩子们分开坐以避免打架。接着我们回到课文当中。
Well, so Nina, how do you like it so far?
Well, I'm really hoping that everything can go back to, I would say, a happy ending. I always like happy endings.
Right,
you know? So I don't know what the style is, for this story, but, it could easily end up just being like, oh, well. Everything's messed up. Well, that's life.
Bye-bye, yeah.
Or things could go back into place with, people who love each other. And, well, obviously there's going to be some sacrifices. Like maybe Demetrius is going to have to love someone who loves him back. But we'll see how it ends up.
You should write your own play.
Ooh, okay.
Well, we'll take a little quick break.
Then, Puck uses magic to make Lysander love Hermia again. In the morning, the couples go home and the fairies bless their love. Now all is well, and what happened in the forest was just a midsummer night's dream.
All right, so welcome back. Before the break, Puck and Oberon decided that they need to try and fix this, right? So they cause a huge complication. Everyone's upset and confused. So they decided to separate everyone, keep them apart.
Yes.
And let's see how they figure this out.
Yeah, they think they fixed the problem.
No.
No. Continuing on. Then, Puck uses magic to make Lysander love Hermia again.
Okay, so this is right. You know, Hermia still loves Lysander, so that's on track. And then Lysander loves her back, which is how it was originally. That's a good job. Okay, good job, Puck. You finally did something right.
Yeah, so they're kind of like using magic to like cover it up a little bit.
Yeah, like fix it up.
They're like, as long as the outcome is the same.
Yeah.
But I don't know, using that much magic.
Oh, interesting.
I don't
You
know.
think something's gonna happen?
I don't know.
Let's see. Okay. In the morning, the couples go home and the fairies bless their love. Okay, so in this case, right now everything is supposedly correct and going right. Okay. A couple is two people who are together in a relationship. For example, the couple went on a vacation together.
Right, so of course in this case we're talking Lysander and Hermia, and I'm assuming Demetrius and Helena?
Yeah, because he still loves her and she still loves him.
Yeah,
Okay.
so right now we've kind of solved the problem. So in this case, the fairies then say, okay, that's solved. That problem's taken care of. Now all we have to do is bless their love. And when you bless something, that means to make something right with God. So that's kind of like saying God thinks that this union, this couple is a good idea.
Okay.
Right, so continuing on. Now all is well, and what happened in the forest was just a midsummer night's dream.
Okay.
You get it? Dream now? Get it? Because like sleeping.
Okay. So all is well, meaning everything is okay. For example, after fixing the problem, he smiled and said, all is well.
Yes.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 couple 名词情侣 The couple walked hand in hand along the beach. 这对情侣手牵着手沿着海滩散步 bless 动词祝福 Our teacher blessed us with good luck for the future. 我们的老师祝福我们未来好运。文法的部分刚刚提到了 all is well 一切安好 Well 在这里是形容词，意思是安好的。我们来看看这个例句 All is well after the storm. 风暴过后，一切安好。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so in this case, it was just a dream, all of this. So wait, what is the moral of the story? So when they wake up, are they back to like two people loving each other, running away, and the other person not loving the other person back?
Let me put it this way. I think to them, they're so confused and they obviously don't really know what's happening that to them, they were all just like, oh, I guess that was a dream. But what we know is it wasn't a dream.
Okay.
But something weird happened in the forest and that's all they know.
Okay. So, but they'll wake up loving the correct people.
Moral of the story is don't run away. Just sit down, have a talk, and don't trust the forest because there might be a king who wants to poison you.
But is there really that moral if in the end Helena gets what she wants?
But I mean, I guess because Helena, well, like we were saying, right? It's a love potion, so is it real love?
Oh yeah, there might be consequences, but I guess that's just up to our interpretation. Okay, very complicated but interesting and
But I'm
fun
glad
story.
This was your first introduction to Shakespeare.
Yeah,
so now
I
do you have a
love
little
it.
taste of
Okay.
it? Are you
I
think you want to explore?
100%. I'm gonna go back, but I'm probably not gonna read it in the way it was written by Shakespeare.
There's translations. They have the modern ones.
I'll do the modern ones for sure.
Well, we hope you liked your first introduction to Shakespeare, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Bye, guys.
Oberon fixes Puck's mistake. However, when Demetrius wakes, his eyes fall on Helena. Now both men love her, and both women are angry and confused. Oberon and Puck take action to set things right. Puck leads the four people apart and makes them fall asleep. Then, Puck uses magic to make Lysander love Hermia again. In the morning, the couples go home and the fairies bless their love. Now all is well, and what happened in the forest was just a midsummer night's dream.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，lead 动词带领 apart 副词分开的 couple 名词情侣 bless 动词祝福 confused 形容词感到困惑的。接着我们来看文法的部分 set things right 纠正错误 It's not too late to set things right 现在要把事情导向正轨还不算太迟 All is well 一切安好 Jay faced some difficulties but all is well now Jay 面临过一些困难但现在一切都好以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法那我们下一次再见咯拜拜
What do you think? I just picked out this outfit from the new clothing store.
Wow, you got some serious drip going on with this new outfit.
Drip? What do you mean? Did I spill my coffee?
No, in fashion, drip just means like really good taste or your clothing looks really cool. I'm just complimenting what you're wearing.
Oh, I get it. I guess I'm all about the latest trend. But hey, your jacket is on point too.
Well, I guess we're both just dripping today, aren't we?
I guess so. Hey everyone, today we're talking about drip, which is slang for having a great sense of style or fashion.
You can think of it as your style being so cool and fresh that it's like you're dripping with swag.
Exactly. So when you say someone has drip, you're acknowledging that their outfit is very trendy and fashionable.
You can also use the word drippy to describe a cool clothing piece or accessory. For example, that watch is so drippy.
Here's how you can use drip in a sentence. He's got drip today with his designer bag and matching shades.
Or the stars drip at the award show turned heads.
So go ahead, experiment with your wardrobe and find your own drip.
And that's it for today. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.